Hello,
is
hello.
your upcoming court
What up? What
date,
up,
what
Renee?
your bond will be if you are eligible for bond, and what your release conditions will be. Some of you may have some questions while I'm providing this advisement to you. I would just ask that you hold your questions until I
What
complete
up,
that
Frank?
advisement. In addition,
What
I do
up,
caution
Britt?
you to have your questions only be directed towards your release conditions and
Nah, he
not
didn't.
regarding any
Ari.
issue regarding your case,
What up,
as
Shannon?
these
Jerome.
proceedings are recorded. Anything that you say could be
Straight
used
up.
against you. So any
Wood.
legal questions that you have,
Supper.
you should direct them towards your
Lincoln.
attorney.
Bailey.
The first person that I'm calling to the podium is Cesar Tellez. Will you please come to the podium? And
This is Maricopa. Maricopa, Arizona.
Mr. Farina, if you'll please have a
What up,
seat in the
Queen?
chair. Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Cesar Joe Tellez, May 22nd, 1994.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a class 4 felony. I did find
Jake.
probable cause as to that offense, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you.
4545.
You will have a status conference hearing on June 26th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on June 30th at 8:30. Because you were on felony release at the time that this
I'm glad
alleged
you're
offense
doing better,
occurred,
Renee.
by statute, you are not eligible for bond today. So I did have to schedule an evidentiary hearing for you for June 27th at 1:30. This completes my advisement to you. If you have no questions for me, you'll please step to your left. Officer will give
Milano.
you your paperwork.
Milano. She Gators. What up, crazy?
Mr. Farina, will you please come to the podium? And Mr. Haman, will you please have a seat in the chair?
But he's getting out on Tuesday now. He called me
Hello, sir,
up.
can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Adam Farina, and my birthday is March 1st, 1984.
Thank you. You are here today because you have 2 probation violation warrants. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in both matters. You will have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on June 27th at 8:30. On your first warrant, you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of
Thank you, Whopper.
$100. On your second warrant, it indicates that you are not bondable at this time.
Probably
When I
not,
see those
Ari.
orders, that means that there is a strong likelihood that you will be facing a period of incarceration. So the issue of bond would be addressed at your hearing on June 27th at 8:30. I would also caution you against trying to post bond in the other matter, as that will not secure your release. This takes care of everything I needed to advise you of today. If you have no questions for me, feel free to step to your left. Officer will give you your paperwork.
How did they find out what's wrong with you, Renee?
Mr. Haman, will you please come to the podium? And Mr. Camarena, if you'll please
Next.
have a seat in the chair.
What up, Marissa? Ooh,
Hello,
go
sir, can you please state
Suns.
your first and last name and your date of birth?
Jose Hammond, 0219-2000.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of transporting and or selling dangerous drugs, a class 2 felony, and 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs for sale, a class 2 felony. I did find probable
Oh,
cause as to
snap.
both counts. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference hearing on June 26th at 8:30. You have a preliminary hearing on June 30th at 8:30.
He didn't get out.
You have a cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $100,000. If you are able to
100,000.
post bond, you
Sheesh.
cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot have any contact with the alleged co-defendant. Failure to comply with your release conditions or appear for your court date would result in the forfeiture of any bonds that you post. A warrant would issue for your arrest and additional bond would be imposed. This completes my advisement to you. If you have no questions for me, do you have a question? Let's
What up,
proceed.
Becca?
I don't.
Okay. So if you'll step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you. I think this is working a bit. Mr. Camarena, if you'll please come to the podium, and
So they
Mr. Humphreys, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
Yeah,
Hello, sir.
how's it going?
Can you
I
state
just
your first
started
and
it,
last
yep.
name and your date of birth for me?
Alex Camarena, 0210-1995.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs for sale, a class 2 felony, and 1 count of possession of a weapon during a drug offense, a class 4 felony. I did find probable cause as to both counts, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference hearing on June 26th at 8:30, and a
Hey, what up,
preliminary hearing
Destiny?
on June 30th at 8:30. You have a cash-only
What
bond
up,
in the amount
Monica?
of $100,000. If you are able to post bond, you cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime, and you cannot have any contact with the alleged co-defendant. Failure to comply with your release conditions or appear for your court dates would result in the loss of any bond that you post. A warrant would issue for your arrest and additional bond would be imposed. This completes my advisement to you.
What up, Nikki?
Alright, is that the best I can get for a bond, Your Honor? I've never been convicted, and Any
The
felony
best.
charges?
I reviewed your criminal history, so I know that there is a lack of criminal history. What I am concerned about is the amount
What up, Nora?
of drugs that were found
Yeah, I know, but
and the
I don't
straight
want.
value of the alleged amount of drugs that were found. So you still go ahead and have a seat. I'll call you back at the end of my calendar. If you want to have a discussion, I gotta continue to call the rest of
Thank
that.
you.
That's right. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not the one. Yeehaw! What up, supper, bro?
Mr.
Night court?
Humphries, will
Yup.
you please come to the courtroom, come to the podium?
Hey, why is this
And
guy
Mr.
in?
Acosta,
Why is he in
will please have a
orange?
seat in the chair. Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Kyrie Humphreys, 52591.
You are here today because a grand jury charged you with the following: one count of promoting prison contraband, a class 2 felony, one count of possession of a dangerous drug, a class 4 felony, and 2 counts of possession of narcotic drugs, a class 4 felony. The date of these alleged offenses is January 14th of 2025. I did appoint an attorney to represent you.
Okay.
I do have a question. Are you due to be released from DOC?
I was a year and a half from now, not anymore.
Okay. I just asked a question. I just wanted to make sure that I was reading the information correctly.
You're good, Your Honor.
Okay. So I did appoint an attorney to
Like
represent
Nemo.
you. You have an arraignment hearing on June 27th at 8:30. The grand jury warrant had a secured appearance bond in the amount of
Thank you, Landon.
$7,500. I am treating that as a placeholder bond because I am aware that you are in DOC custody. This will allow you to continue to accrue credit for your time served while you are in the sheriff's custody. You will remain in the sheriff's custody until this matter is completed, and then you will return to DOC.
Okay.
So that takes care of everything that I needed to advise you of. If you have no questions for me, feel
No,
free to
ma'am.
left.
Thank you.
Mr. Acosta, will you please come to the podium? And Ms. Heron, will you please have a seat in the chair? Well, sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Go Dodgers.
Mauricio Ramirez
Nope.
Acosta,
And your date of birth?
1/29/1975.
Thank you for that,
You are
Davey.
here today because you were charged with aggravated DUI, having a DUI with a
Why?
license that has been previously suspended for DUI as the class 4 felony. I did find probable cause as to that count, and I
A little bit better,
an
yep.
attorney to
Thank you.
represent you. You have a status conference hearing on June 26th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on June 30th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. If you are able to post bond, you'll be released to pretrial services where you are
No
to
protest
participate
online.
in alcohol testing and monitoring. Failure to comply with your release conditions or to appear for your court dates would result in the loss of any bond that you post. A warrant would issue for your arrest. An additional bond could be imposed. This completes my advice to
What up,
you.
Mario?
If you have no questions for me, if you'll please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you.
He didn't get released. Nah. They actually told him he's gonna get released on Tuesday now. So 5 days after his original
Ms. Karen, will you please
release date.
come to the podium? And Mr. Morales, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
I was out there for like 3 hours, and they finally allowed him to give me a call. He called me to
Jessica
let me
Heron,
know. I'm not sure, Renee. I'm not sure. It's 50-50 right now. I can't commit myself to that right now. But if I'm there, then I'll be live.
can you please state your first and last name
What up, Kimberly?
and your date of birth?
Jessica Heron, 22583.
You are here today on 2 matters. You have a new case, and then you have
Probably not,
an arrest
Kimberly.
warrant.
Maricopa,
On your
yep.
new case, you were charged with 1 count of possession of a dangerous drug, a class 4 felony. I did find probable cause. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference hearing on June 26th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on June 30th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. As to your arrest warrant, an attorney was already appointed to represent you in this matter. You will have a status conference hearing on June 24th at 8:30. That warrant had a cash-only bond in the amount of $2,500. If you are able to post bond, you do need to make sure that you appear for your court date. Failure to do so would result in the loss of any bond that you post. A warrant would issue for your arrest and additional bond could be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to advise you of today. If you have no questions for me, if you will please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you. Mr. Morales, will you please come to the podium? And Mr. Guerra,
It's
will you
busy
please
for a
have a seat
Friday
in the
today.
chair?
Everybody catching felonies
Sir, can you
today.
please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Fernando Angel Dual Morales, 6/23/1996.
Thank you. You are here today because you have two warrants that were issued when you failed to appear for your court date. Attorneys were already appointed to represent you in these
I wasn't.
matters. You will have an status conference hearing on June 24th at 8:30 on one matter and a non-witness violation hearing on June 24th at 8:30. Each of your warrants had a security appearance bond, or sorry, a cash-only bond in the amount of $2,500. So your total cash
What up,
bond
Lexi?
is $5,000. I am aware that you are in custody, so I believe that these bonds will be treated as
Another
a placeholder.
Nemo.
You will remain in the sheriff's custody until these matters are resolved, and then you'll return into custody into federal custody. So that took care of everything that I needed to advise you.
Hey, I
of
like that,
today.
Ella.
You have no questions?
Yes,
I like
man,
that Nemo.
I was on bond for $1,000, 500 for each case, but I turned myself into the feds. Why my bond?
So right, because you turned yourself into the feds. This is a superior court matter.
Well, I checked into probation and they just took me. I didn't turn myself in.
You're telling me like different things, so I'm not sure what you're saying. I'm going to tell you the information that I am
She said,
aware
I'm
of.
not sure what you're
At
saying.
the time that you had court, you did not appear.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
So when you don't appear for court, then that judge will issue a warrant and attach a bond to it.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if you didn't appear because you were already in custody.
I just gotta go and.
And so if that was the case, that you were already in custody, but based on the type of custody that I know that you are in, it doesn't look like you're due to be released. I don't have any information that you're going to be released anytime soon.
Yeah, I get released in a month.
No,
but I'll handle this with the.
So you'll be here to take care of this. You'll have court next Tuesday.
Okay.
For these matters, and hopefully you'll have them taken care of.
Yes, ma'am.
And then this will be resolved.
Okay. Thank you.
You know what? Today I wasn't able to record any of the morning courts today.
Mr. Guerra, will you please come to the podium?
I think the first one from today that I recorded was at 3 p.m. I didn't realize until 3 that my recordings
Sir,
my recordings were set up right.
Your first and last name and your date of birth.
What up, Taurus?
Jesse Guerra, 7887.
You are here today because two warrants were issued when you failed to appear for your court date. An attorney was already appointed to represent you in both matters. You do have a disposition hearing on June 26th at 8:30 in one matter.
Why is it lagging?
And a status conference hearing on June 26th in the other matter. Each of your warrants has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. So your total bond secured appearance is $5,000. If you are able to post bond, you do need to make sure that you appear for your court date.
What up, Gino?
If you fail to appear, you will lose any bond that you posted. Warrants will issue for your arrest again, and additional bond could be imposed. So this takes care of everything.
I was tired when I got home.
If you have no questions for me,
so there's no hold or anything, right?
I was exhausted.
As far as I know right now, I mean, I don't have any information, but that does not mean that there is no hold on you.
Thank you,
I don't
Sue.
know.
Okay. That's about it.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, by the time I got home yesterday, man, I was exhausted on the road because I was driving a long time yesterday.
Mr. Peavy, can you please come
Best
to
tacos
the
in SD.
podium? And Mr.
Tacos El Gordo, I think.
Have a seat in the chair.
You know what?
Mr.
Honestly,
Peavy?
I'm not too sure of any good spots in San Diego, but I would the only spot that I know that's big that's in San Diego would be Tacos El Gordo. But I'm sure there's people on here from San Diego that could probably guide you a lot better than I could.
Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Jordan Peavy, October 1st, 1997.
You are here today because you have
Kristen, thank you.
two probation violation warrants.
Lucha Libre?
I did appoint an attorney to represent
Thank you, TJ.
in both matters. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on June 27th at 8:30. One of your warrants had a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. The other warrant had a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. So your total secured appearance bond is $750. If you are able to post bond, you do need to make sure you appear for your court date. Failure to appear
Fire.
for your
Okay,
court
thank you
date
for
will
that.
result in the loss of any bond that you post. Warrants will issue for your arrest again, and additional bond could be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to advise you of this evening. If you have no questions for me, you'll step to your left. The officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you.
Hey, when I say I'm from LA, I'm really from LA. I'm not from like some other city. I'm from, my birth certificate says California Hospital, which is located in downtown LA, and I was born and raised in the streets of
Mr.
LA.
Donahue, will you please come to the podium? And Mr. Abel Fadil.
I almost missed my flight.
Have a
Make
seat
money.
in the chair.
Because I got this battery. I got this big battery that I use like to charge up all my devices, and it's too big, so they wanted me to throw it away. And I was like, hell no, I paid over $100 for
Sir,
that.
can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
My name is Mark Donahue, and my date of birth is July 8th, 1959.
59.
Thank you. You are
Sheesh.
here today because a warrant was issued when you failed to appear for a court date. An attorney was already appointed to represent you in this matter. You have a status conference hearing on June 26th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on June 30th at 8:30. Your warrant has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. If you are able to post bond, you do need to appear for your court date. Failure to appear would result in the loss of any bond that you post.
What up, Lydia?
Do you need a hearing device to help you hear?
I couldn't quite catch that, ma'am.
So,
That's right. No, Mexico Roswell.
you have a
Sheesh.
secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. If you are able to post bond, you do need to appear for your court dates. If you fail to appear for your court dates, that would result in a loss of any bond that you post. Warrants will issue for your arrest
King Burritos,
again,
nah.
and additional bonds could be imposed.
Okay.
This takes care of everything that I needed to advise you of. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't.
I'll check the other
Okay,
account.
you will step to your left. The officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you.
I'll double check my account today.
Mr.
The CTR.
Mr. Adel, I know I'm saying your last name wrong. Your first name, maybe it's
Spit it
Barakat?
out.
Mr. Barakat?
Mr. Who? Oh, Ashley. Nah, she would have been here already.
Hello, sir. Can you state your first and last name and your date of birth?
My first name is Barakat, and the last name is Abdul Fadil.
Thank you.
Oh, no wonder she couldn't
You are
pronounce
here
it.
today because you have a probation violation
Crazy
warrant.
town rock.
I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on June 27th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $100. If you are able to post bond, you do need to appear for your court date. Failure to appear for your court date would result in the loss of any bond that you post. Another warrant would issue for your arrest, and additional bond would be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to advise you of. If you have no questions for me, if you will please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you.
Yeah, she was, Nikki.
Thank you. Mr. White, will you please come to the podium? And Mr. Alejandro Martinez, will you please have a seat in the chair?
Is it crazy? It's crazy and live out here in Mexico. Is it? Yeah, here. I heard the res are really crazy too. If you missed it. Shit, me too, Nikki. I have the attention span of a squirrel. If you want. Next.
Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Richie White, 9866.
Richie's
Sir,
wrong
you are
right
here
now.
today because you have 3 warrants for failing to appear for a court date. You have 1 probation violation warrant, and you have a new case.
Yes.
So I'm going to talk to you first about your new case. You were charged with 1 count of possession of a narcotic drug, a class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, a class 6 felony. I did not find probable cause
You're
as
not
to the
lying,
possession
Super
of
Raw.
narcotic drugs, but I did find probable cause as to the possession of drug paraphernalia. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on June 26th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on June 30th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. Then, as to your warrants for failing to appear, an attorney, do you remember at the beginning of the hearing I told you to hold your questions until I was done?
I'm sorry.
So,
Is there anybody
as to your
there?
warrants for failing to appear for your court date, you have attorneys were already appointed to represent you in those matters. Each of those
He has an invisible cloak on.
Each of those matters have a non-witness violation disposition hearing on June 27th at
I
8:30.
updated it, Kay
They
Larson.
have a cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $500. Then, as to your probation violation warrant,
First.
I'm sorry, it was not a probation violation warrant. They were all warrants for failing to appear for your court dates. So, and so after that last one, again, it has the same court date of June 27th at 8:30 with the cash only appearance bond in the amount of $500. So you have $2,000 in cash only appearance bond and secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. If you are able to postpone, you must appear for your court dates. Failure to appear for your court dates would result in the loss of any bond that you post. Warrants will issue for your arrest again, and additional bond could be imposed.
This is live, yes.
Yes, could you explain the probable cause part?
Which part? Which one? I'm the one that I did not find probable cause for.
This judge, she doesn't have any patience.
You were charged. I did not find probable cause for the charge of narcotic drugs. The reason why I did not find probable cause is that the officer did not identify what narcotic drug it was.
Mm-hmm.
So that does not mean that the state cannot come back and correct that. That's why it's important for you to show up to all of your court dates.
I understand.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is, Shannon.
Thank you.
They need to get better lighting in that place.
Mr. Alejandro Martinez.
Or at least make the background white.
To the podium. And Mr. Farley, if you'll please have a seat in the chair. Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Alejandro Martinez, 1989.
What?
Were you born on June 9th of 1989?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, June 9th.
You were here on a new case.
What up, Honcho?
You were charged with one count of possession of a dangerous drug, a class 4 felony. I did find probable cause as to that offense, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on July 3rd at 8:30, and then you will have a preliminary hearing on July 9th at 8:30.
July 9th?
July 9th. I am inclined to release you to pretrial services. You do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear for your court date?
Oh, yes, yes. Yes.
If you fail to appear for your court dates or comply with your release conditions, a warrant will issue for your arrest and a bond will be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes.
This completes my advice to you.
Ice cream. I had ice cream for dinner, Lexi.
You will step to your...
Can you stop doing that to that paper, please? We could hear it in our ears.
If you'll step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
You know what? There was one earlier on.
God bless.
I think at the 3 o'clock, I want to say.
Mr. Farley, will you please come to the podium? And Mr. Cole, will you please have a seat in the chair?
It was vanilla with sundae, chocolate sundae toppings.
Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Jimmy Farley, from 6/2/1972.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with one count of unlawful failure to return rented property, a class 5 felony.
Damn.
I did find probable cause as to that offense, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You'll have a status conference hearing on July 3rd at 8:30, and then you'll have a preliminary hearing on July 9th at 8:30. I am going to release you to pretrial services. You do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear?
Yes.
You have the following release conditions. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victims. Failure to comply with your release conditions or appear for your court dates would result in a warrant issuing for your arrest and a bond would be imposed. This takes care of my advisement to you. If you have no questions for me, if you'll please step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork.
Next up on The Price is Wrong. How dare you rent something and not return it?
And Mr. Munoz, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
Definitely took a L for that one. Damn, those are some super tight pants.
And your date of birth.
Yes, Travis Cole, and my date of birth is October 11, 1991.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with one count of disorderly conduct involving fighting, a class 1 misdemeanor, and one count of criminal damage, a class 1 misdemeanor. I did find
What up,
probable
Proof
cause
Rock?
as to both counts. Due to the nature of the charge, you are not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You do have an arraignment hearing on July 8th at 2 p.m. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance, but you do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear?
Yes, I'll promise I'll appear to my court date.
You have the following release conditions. You cannot return to the scene of the
He was
alleged
probably
crime.
fighting
You
to try to
cannot
get
initiate
into the
any contact
jeans.
with the alleged victim. You cannot possess any weapons. If there are any orders of protection or orders against harassment, you must comply with those orders. You cannot reside at the same residence as the alleged victim. You are permitted one civil standby with local law enforcement to assist you in collecting your essential belongings. If you violate the no victim contact order in this case, you could be charged with aggravated harassment, which is a Class 6 felony. Failure to comply with your release conditions or to appear for your court date would result in a warrant issuing for your arrest and a bond could be imposed. Do you understand?
Thank you, Candy.
Okay, this takes care of everything that I needed to advise you of. If you have no questions for me, you will step to your left, officer will give you a report.
Thank you.
Look at those things. Those things are like super duper tight. Like, damn, bro, you got them
Mr.
like
Munoz, will you please come to
extra
the
ankle
podium
chokers, if you
and
will. I mean, hey, if that's what you want,
Ms.
then that's what you
Dixon,
want.
can you
But
please have a
I
seat
wouldn't
in
be
the
caught dead
chair?
in those type of
Well,
pants.
sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Charles Edward Ruiz Munoz, 12/31/80.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with one count of
Extra
possession of a
skin.
dangerous drug, a Class 4 felony, and one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. I did find probable causes to both counts, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference hearing on July 3rd at 8:30
Thank you,
and a
Brittany.
preliminary hearing
Hey.
on July 9th at 8:30. I am inclined to release you to pretrial services. You do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear?
Yes, ma'am.
Failure to appear for your court dates or comply with your release conditions will result in a warrant issuing for your arrest and a bond will be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this takes care of everything that I need to advise you of. If you have no questions for me, you'll step to your left. Officer will give you your paperwork.
Can I just hear what the two charges were again?
Possession of dangerous drugs and possession of drug paraphernalia.
Okay, thank you.
He got caught with
Go
a
ahead.
pipa, with a pipe. For
You gotta
those
give your paperwork, though.
for those of you that are
Sure.
not Spanish speakers, pipa means pipe in Spanish. Practice saying it.
Ms. Dixon, will you please
Pipa.
come to the podium? And Mr. Martinez, if you'll please have a seat in the
Ah,
chair.
man, I hate Shannon. I hate
Ma'am,
blown
can you
out
please state your
shirt
first, last
collars.
name and your date of
The
birth?
worst.
Kylie Dixon, March
Scott
15,
that out.
1999.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with one count of aggravated assault on a first responder, a Class 6 felony, and one count of criminal damage, a Class 1 misdemeanor.
Oh, she's going to
I
prison.
did find probable cause as to both counts. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference hearing on July 3rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on July 9th at 8:30. I am going to release you to pretrial services. You do have to promise to appear for your court dates. Do you promise to appear for your court dates?
Yes, I promise.
Failure to appear for your court dates or comply with your release conditions, which are you cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime, you cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim, you cannot possess any weapons. If there are any orders of protection or orders against harassment that are issued, you have to comply with those orders. You cannot reside at the same location as the alleged victim. You are permitted a civil standby with local law enforcement to assist you in collecting your essential belongings. If you violate the no victim contact order in this case, you could be charged with aggravated harassment,
What
which
up,
is a
Jenna?
Class 6 felony. The failure to comply with your release conditions or appear for your court date would result in a warrant issuing for your arrest and a bond would be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to advise you of. If you have no questions for me,
I heard about that, Kay Larson.
Place I live at, do I leave it?
you are permitted to go there with law enforcement so you can pick up essential belongings. You can't be there while this is pending. I don't know how it's going to shake out, but for right now, you can't be there.
Okay,
Okay?
I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Martinez, will you please come into the courtroom? Sir, can you please state your first last name and your date of birth?
Jaime Parada Martinez, August 6, 2003.
You are here today because a warrant was issued out of Ironwood Justice Court. I did not appoint an attorney to represent you because due to the nature of the charge, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You have an arraignment hearing on July 10th at 9 a.m. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance. You do have to promise to appear for your court date.
Yes, I promise.
I will tell you that if you do not appear for your court date, another warrant will issue for your arrest, and the recommended bond for
He
you
didn't
is
see one.
$720.50. So if you don't show up to court,
That's going to be the bond I have to pay?
That's going to be the bond that you have to pay.
And my court is July 10th?
July 10th at 9 a.m. Do not lose your paperwork. The officer is going to give it to you. Keep up with it. It'll have all
What
the
up, hot mess?
information that you need as far as where your court hearing will be, as well as your court date.
Okay.
So if you have no other questions for me, you can talk to the ALS. The officer will give you your paperwork.
Hey, what did he do? Happy 4th. He deserves a flush, if you will.
We'll go ahead and do the house calls now.
Damn! Oh man, this is a short court. Nobody got picked up on Friday. What's up with that?
Gibson, date of birth, January 8th, 1994, is here on a new case. She was charged with 1 count of theft of means of transportation, a class 3 felony. I did find probable cause as to that offense, and I did appoint an attorney to represent her. She will have a status conference hearing on June 26th at 8:30. A preliminary hearing on June 30th.
I did, Chad. I'll talk about it right now.
Because she was on felony release at the time that this offense occurred, she's not eligible for bond, but she does have an evidentiary hearing on June 27th at 1:30. I will meet with Ms. Gibson, and if any changes are needed, I will do so either on the record or in writing. She was not able to participate physically in court because she is not able to function. Adriana Murray, date of birth, April 15th, 1997.
Thank you, Texas.
Is here today on a probation violation warrant. She is not present in court physically because she is refusing to follow orders. I did appoint an attorney to represent her in this matter. She does have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on June 27th at 8:30. Her warrant had a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. She will be advised that if she is able to post bond, she must appear for a court date, and that if she fails to appear, any bond that she posts will be lost. A warrant would issue for her arrest, and additional bond would be imposed. After I meet with Ms. Murray, if any changes are needed, I will do so either on the record or in writing.
All right, so I know a lot of you have been asking me about what happened yesterday.
Mr. Carmona, will you please come back into the courtroom?
Come back? Hold up.
Your Honor, let me come back.
So, I'm just going to have a conversation with you so you understand what it is. So I made a probable cause finding based on the information that I read in the probable cause statement. I'm very concerned. There's the amount of drugs and what I found what your participation was in that transaction. Do not make any statements. I'm just letting you know how I got there because you're wanting to know why your bond is what it is.
No, I was just going to
shut your mouth. Let her talk.
I was with the wrong people at the wrong time. Nothing was on me.
I hate when I do that.
Talk about your kids right now. You have an attorney. I've appointed an attorney to represent you.
Yeah.
So
I have kids. I have kids at home.
Well,
Arizona.
I've never been in trouble like this in my life.
No,
so
me neither.
I don't know if you can work on the bond just
I don't
a
want to
little
go to
bit.
prison.
Just a little bit. Just a little.
Poquito?
My son's birthday is next week.
Sir, even if I reduced it by
just a little bit.
It's not going to be. Even if I reduce it by a little bit, I do not think you would be able to post bond because what my initial. Oh, this one wasn't supposed to be because I was.
Yeah, you better put your big boy panties on.
That's okay.
You better not be crying back in the court tanks.
I need to. Okay. So I will.
If you can just something to, that we can work with or something for my family to work with, just because it is my son's birthday.
I got kids at home.
I'm gonna miss his first birthday.
Oh, a birthday.
So, Mr.
If you could just kind of help, just a little bit.
Just do it to be a video visit.
We're just gonna have a conversation here, and I don't want you talking about your case. Sometimes you make choices. Like there's things that and then there's consequences for bad decisions. And so unfortunately for you,
breaking my heart,
I made a probable cause finding that you participated in something that was very, very illegal and very, very dangerous. And so the consequence is what the bond is. What I am concerned about is that I don't know.
Acting like he's crying.
I don't know a lot of information, but on its face, this looks very serious, and I'm concerned that the amount of drugs and the pattern typically is the selling of drugs.
But it wasn't on me.
If I did a lower bond, that you could post it, and you could maybe not. I'm concerned about flight risk. I understand that you live here.
My kids live here. Like, I care about my kids. I would never do that to my family to risk that. I promise you that I will be at court. If you can give me a bond that's probable, I promise you I'll be at court.
It's still going to be a cash bond, and it's going to be a high cash bond.
How high can you do?
50,000.
That's fine. I could take that if you could do that for me. Thank you.
What, you fool? Somebody get this man some tissues here.
Family members that are my best friend's a cop. His name's Henry Trevino.
You don't say anything.
Your best friend's a cop.
If you go ahead and have a seat, we're going to bring the order in to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night.
50K. That did, man, he didn't even flinch. Is this real? The hell? He's balding. Come on now, rookie. Is that him crying? It's not me crying. I could tell you who's not crying. I was crying like a baby. Hey, you better wipe them tears up before you walk into that dorm.
Okay, I just amended it and signed it.
He's not ready for the slammer, right, Big J?
But we can't go forward because the last one I need the courtroom to be cleared.
Hey, just so you're aware, there's gonna be a bad case coming right now. I don't know what type of bad case, but if you've ever had any trauma, you should probably leave because I don't want you to open up old wounds that you probably buried deep down inside. His charges, he was in the, I think he was a middleman, or he has some type of involvement with a rug deal, if you will. Yup. Appreciate the warnings. You're welcome. Trigger warning. That's right. Thank you. Who was that? One sad. He needs his binky. So I know a lot of you guys are asking me about the gentleman that was supposed to be getting released yesterday. He didn't get released, but he will be released on Tuesday. I know some of you guys asked me if I'm gonna be back there on Tuesday. I'm probably not gonna be back there.
Please come to the podium.
He's not posting, but hell nah.
Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Christopher Martell, December 15, 1982.
Oh, yeah.
You were here today on a new case. You were charged with 10 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, Class 2 felony. The date of these alleged offenses is December 18th of 2024. I did find probable cause as to these offenses, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference hearing on June 26th at 8:30. You have a preliminary hearing on June 30th at 8:30. You have a cash-only bond in the amount of $100,000. If you are able to post bond, you'll be released to pretrial services on electronic monitoring. You cannot have any contact with minors, and you cannot access the internet except for school and work. Failure to comply with these release conditions or to appear for your court date would result in the loss of any bond that you post, or warrants would issue for your arrest. An additional bond would be imposed. I'm sorry, I did not look at you have children?
I do, yes,
ma'am. And how old are your children?
5.5 and 2.5.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a no-go, buddy. A no-go. No contact whatsoever. Shh, not even over the phone. You can't be trusted. we know your type. You guys are some slippery ones. Crazy. Shh, hey, me too, Gabs. Definitely. Hey, just yank it off. Just take it off and just put like a hot iron on it.
I did make a change on this order.
Put a little straw. Y vámonos. Done.
So
one and done.
That you can't have any contact with minor children except for supervised contact with your biological children.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Failure to comply with your release conditions or to appear for your court dates would result in the loss of any bond that you post. Warrants would issue for your arrest and additional bond could be imposed. This completes my advisement to you. If you have no questions for me, if you go ahead and have a seat, because I had to change your orders, we have to reprint it and bring it out to you.
Understand. Thank you, Your Honor.
Or get some pliers, put them in like a really hot oven or fire, and then just get the pliers in, and then it'll just seal it off, and we're done. Problem solved. Like that, we're being humane, but we're taking care of the problem. Let me see. What was his bond? I don't even know. I was too busy yapping away. Seal it off. Put him on the. I like that one. Island full of lions, bears, hippos. Hippos are good. Hippos do a lot of damage, and maybe some rhinos. Sharks with lasers on their heads. They did an Austin Powers. It could happen. Is this the end? Yeah, this is. I think this is it. But we'll find out right now. Marilyn Manson or Jeffrey Dahmer. Let me see. Anything that would eat them. Oh, those dragons. Komodo dragon. Those Komodo dragons are vicious. Or like that one movie where they get the rats.
I did. I signed it. I'm done on my side.
We're done already? Ants and honey?
Okay. I will. On my side, it was showing. Did you open it up again? Because I changed it. I saved it.
Pigs from Hannibal.
Now it's showing that now it's going back to the other amount. That's not what I did. Okay, so I'm doing it again.
It's late, fool. Hannibal Lecter.
I've just signed it.
Maybe hyenas. Me and my wife were talking about hyenas earlier on. Hyenas will do some damage too, right? What's something that's little that'll eat human flesh? So like that, it's not fast. It'll take some time.
We'll just go ahead and do house calls while we're getting it sorted.
Okay. A coyote. Lorena Bobbitt. Snapping turtles. Lions. The way piranhas. Hey, I like the way you think. Rock. Proof rock. Vultures. I like you guys. You guys are a creative bunch here. Snakes. Do they make everybody? So yeah. So Gabs. Yeah. So whenever you hear them clearing out the courtroom, it means that it's gonna be a bad case, and they normally have them towards the end of the court. For anybody that's wondering, James, will you be there? I probably won't be there for the release. I normally when I go out there, it takes me a day. Going out there, coming back and all of that. So, and it's exhausting.
Do you think you can print it from another computer? Okay.
It's exhausting standing out there. I stood out there for like more than 3 hours, waiting for him to get released. And man, I got home yesterday. I knocked out. I was done. We're trying to coordinate something where I am able to do a video visit with him as soon as he walks out. So, I'm just trying to figure it out right now. He does have somebody that's gonna pick him up. Yeah, he does. Hey, what up, country girl?
It's no worries.
It's no worries.
All day too. No, literally.
Hey, I saw that dude he got bailed out because it was winter, right? When he got bailed out, he was like, "Where am I gonna sleep at now?"
So who do we have?
Black Mamba. If he's granted parole, it's immediate release. No, it's not.
Is this Adriana?
Oh, damn, that fool's sleeping. Oh, snap, hold on. Hold up.
I'm sorry, I can't hear. Hello?
That fool is on the floor, laid out. Hold on, he's right here. If you guys look at this little box right here, he's on the corner right here. Oh shit!
I can hear you now. Are you?
Is that fool crying?
Why?
They cut us off. Shah! Come on, Your Honor. How dare you do us like that? That's gacho. They straight pulled the plug on us. And what are they trying to hide? All right, well, shit, hey, that's the way it is. It be like that sometimes. Anyhow, so I know a lot of you. I know you guys. A lot of you have questions in regards to what happened at Centinela yesterday. So pretty much, this is what happened. All right, because I know there's a lot of confusion. So I'll go ahead and just start it from the beginning. All right. So last year in May of 2024, there was a gentleman named as Pablo. He was granted parole. All right. He was found suitable for parole. So in the state of California, when the Board of Parole finds you suitable, when they find you suitable to be paroled, if it involves a case that somebody lost their life, what will happen is from the day you're granted parole, the state that you got to wait 150 days. Okay. Within those 150 days, what will happen is they'll send your information up to the governor of California, and then the governor, he there's a few things he could do. He could take your parole date away. He could do nothing, and if he does nothing after the 150 days, you'll get released. Or they could embank you or embank you. What that means is they send your case, your grant. They send it back to the parole board, and they'll have a whole panel of parole board members there, and they hold these hearings live. Normally I do them, and as a matter of fact, there was actually they started on Wednesday and Thursday. So this month we missed, and we're not gonna have any bank hearings for this month. I dropped the ball on that one. When you go to that, well, you don't go to that hearing because it's done without you being present there. Well, at least the individual that was found suitable for parole. They'll hear out the case. They'll say your name, and then they'll ask if anybody's if they're there to support you being paroled. After all those people are heard, they have another. They'll ask if anybody's against you being paroled. Then those people will speak up. That same day, but later on in the evening, they'll release the list. When they'll release the list, and it'll say whether they affirm you being released, your grant, or if they're denying it. Which, and if they deny it, they'll take your date away. Normally, when they have those hearings, a majority of those individuals will be their suitability will be affirmed, and they will get released. So let's say that embank hearing happens after the 150 days. Let's say you've already been in for 170 days. Once they affirm your hearing, they normally have to let you out within 5 days from that day. All right. So the reason I'm explaining that is because Pablo, he had an embank hearing back in I want to say either August. Yeah, I want to say August. I'm pretty sure it was August. That's when I started watching the embank hearings. He's the reason I started watching the embank hearings, because before that I didn't even know they existed. So the Board of Parole, they affirmed his grant. So then I let him know, like, hey, they found you, everything's good. You're gonna be going home. So within those 5 days, his counselor never got at him. Normally your counselor will get at you and be like, hey, okay, this is the day you're gonna get out. So like that, because you got to coordinate somebody picking you up if you have people to pick you up. So I think like the 5th, 6th, or 7th day rolled around, and he finally spoke to his counselor, and his counselor was like, "You're not getting out yet." He was like, "You still owe the state time." So he was confused, because why would he go to his parole board hearing if he wasn't ready to be let out? After the 150 days. So the way things work in California is that you earn something called good time credits. So what that means is you get good time credits, and you earn milestones. So like if you go to college, you get your GED, you graduate high school, you take certain courses, it'll knock it'll knock a certain amount of time. I think like you get your GED or you graduate high school, I think they take up like 90 days, and then if you take programs, I think it might be like 30 or something. Don't quote me on that because I don't know um the exact details of that. Okay, so Pablo did have he did have he did have milestones, but for lifers or people that have a life sentence, which means like if they have 15 years to life, 25 years to life, whatever sentence they have that has life at the end, they're not eligible for those milestones. So pretty much they told him that he still owed them another like 8 months. So they had originally told him that his release date was not October, sorry, June 18 of January of this year. So like last week, he spoke to his counselor, and his counselor told him that his release date was the 19th. So then last week or 2 weeks ago, somewhere around there, my my memory's a bit off. Somebody put 6 months off. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure, how that works, but I was just trying to give some examples. So so I had talked to him. I was like, you know what? Regardless whether they let you know if they're gonna let you out, I'm still gonna go out there. So I go out there, and by the time 6 o'clock rolled around, I knew something was off already because for anybody who's ever picked up somebody from California, they'll normally call you from R&R, from a receiving and releasing. They'll give you the person will give you a call to verify that you're either on your way or you're already there. So by the time 6 o'clock came around, I hadn't got that call. So I knew something was off already, even before I went out there. So then, for those of you that were in the live, you guys saw when the CO rolled up on me and was asking me, what was I doing out there? Was I picking somebody up or whatever? And he went and came back 3 different times. So then after the third time that he came out there, I received a message from Pablo, and he pretty much told me, he was like, "Hey, I spoke to my counselor. My counselor told me that I'm eligible for immediate release, but he doesn't know when I'm going to get released. Make that make sense." So after that, I think maybe like an hour or two, he was able to actually make a phone call. And if anybody that has any loved ones in California, and you guys know, on a level 3 or level 4, the phones are off right now. They can't make any calls. So whoever was up in the guard tower allowed him to make a phone call so he could reach out to me since I was up there. So pretty much he told me, he was like, "Hey, they're going to lay me out on Tuesday." So how frustrating, so close, right? So after I make that phone call, I spoke to another individual, and I kind of gave him the situation. He was like, "What's happening now is that in California, and I think a lot of other states are like that also, is that the state of California or the Board of Parole has to notify the victims that he's going to be released." So with them, dropping the ball in this, I'm assuming nobody, and this is just an assumption on my end, I don't think anybody ever contacted the family of the victim to let him know that he's going to get out. So there's a set amount of time that California has to release you, from the time, I guess, they realized their error. So they figured out their error yesterday, and so they have 5 days from that day to release him. So based on the 5 days, it's Tuesday, but that's what they're saying. I don't know. You know what? I was assuming that weekends wouldn't count. It would only be like work days. So at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if be like, "Oh, we spoke too soon. Saturday and Sunday don't count. We have to push you back another 2 days because it was business days. So you'll be Thursday." With the state, you never know. They'll do shit like that, and there's nothing really. What are you gonna do about it? Unless you got an attorney or somebody that is pulling weight inside the CDCR and the parole board. Other than that, ain't nothing gonna happen for you. So on Tuesday, like in California, normally when they release you, they know that. Well, from my experience in Centinela, when you do get released, you'll get released between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning. If I had to guess, from the times I have picked people up from the gate, I would say is more likely after 7:30. So maybe like 7:30, 7:40. But that's just a guess on my end. Hey, what up, Teresa? How's it going? In my state, you make parole, you get out in a month, no questions asked. Well, yeah, in California it's a lot different. So in California, people that let's say you don't have a life sentence, you have a date, you're gonna get out on that date. You don't go in front of the parole board because in California, not everybody goes in front of the parole board. The only people that do go in front of the parole board would be individuals that that uh that have a life sentence. Other than that, everybody else gets out. Let me see this. Damn, my live went down. So let me fix this one here. All right, so my live went down for a quick second. Let me go get a snack and keep watching. Yeah, so I hope what I just mentioned kind of clears up and so everybody could kind of understand how it works in California. Let me see. Let me make sure I didn't miss any other comments. Let me see. That's so sad. The state always messing with people, right? Let me see. Chacha wrote how frustrating. Let me see. Got him all excited to be released, and now he has to do more time. They're testing him. It's sad. Yeah, yeah. No, he's already waited. I mean, like I said, he should have been out in. I think I don't know. I think it was October or August. He was supposed to get out. I don't remember. Is his family involved? Writes Jennifer. I believe he has a sister and a brother, but I'm not sure exactly like how involved they are. Let me see. Is Silas's family involved in his life? Yeah, I know he got a brother and some cousins that are huge supporters. Let me see if I got any. Let me see anything over here. All right, so I'm just going through the comments here. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So yeah, so hopefully that answers any questions that you guys had. What court is next? The next court is going to be at 11 p.m. So that'll be in about 2 hours and 2 minutes. That'll be Pacific Standard Time. And also anybody that's ever seen the release of Joe. Joe was released last year, about 15 months ago. After I left the prison, I went to Joe's house. I met up with him in the IE in the Inland Empire. So I went ahead and did an interview with him just to do an update, a 15-month update to find out where he's at in his life and kind of just conversate with him and not whatnot. So I'm gonna be editing that video and I'll be uploading it in the next few days. I just uploaded it to my computer today and I set everything up. So I'm gonna be editing that video and uploading it too. I didn't pick anybody up. I was there to pick somebody up, but they didn't end up getting out. So, but now he knows his date. He is gonna be getting out on Tuesday, unless something changes in the next few days. Let me see. Coming soon. Protests at prisons. Let me see if they pass a certain date. They get paid for the. I don't. Yeah, Lindy. I'm not sure. I mean, shit. If that was me and that was the case, hell yeah, he pay me. Shit, I wouldn't mind more than $200 from my gate money. You're welcome, Jays. We enjoy these lives. Thank you, Queen. But who? I can't really say because that individual, I haven't released any of his interviews yet, his life story. So I'm waiting for him to come home. As soon as he comes home, then I'm gonna make sure that he's okay with me releasing those conversations. And if he is fine with it, then I'll go ahead and release those conversations and those interviews. Let me see. Do you plan on going back on Tuesday? At this point, I'm not sure right now. It's a 50-50. I'm not. I'm gearing more towards no. But if I don't go, I will be interviewing him at least over the phone. I'll be doing like a video visit with him. Let me see. I've helped many in Cali. Oh, okay. Hey, thank you, Lindy. Appreciate that. That's good to know. So yeah, let me see. Anyhow, hey, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a break. I told my wife we were gonna watch a movie, and shit, I'm over here doing this. So she walked by a few times and looked at me. So I'm gonna be getting out, but I'll be back at 11 o'clock. All right, guys. Hey, I do appreciate you guys. I am Collect Call James. You are watching. You have a Collect Call from, and like I said around here, life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it's lights out. And with that, we're out. Rato. Hey, thank you, Nikki. Highly appreciate that.